everyone, this is V and welcome to my channel. Just to quickly introduce myself, I'm a girl living in Tokyo, Japan, and that's basically all you need to know. So everyone loves Japan and it's always been one of the most popular tourist destinations. But unfortunately, since traveling isn't really an option right now, I was thinking maybe it would be nice if I showed you guys what Tokyo and Japan are like at this very moment. And maybe some of you can enjoy watching how other people are living their lives right now in the world. So on this channel, I'm hoping to show you guys a glimpse of Tokyo and Japan and what's going on these days. It won't always be super exciting, but who knows? Maybe you'll get a kick out of seeing how I live my everyday life. Anyway, let's get started. So our first stop is ta-da! This is Daikanyama Station. Daikanyama is one stop away from Shibuya on the Tokyu-Toyoko line. It's a really nice neighborhood with cafes and bakeries and generally fashion, miscellaneous goods shops and stuff like that. It's usually pretty quiet, but it's a little bit more crowded than I expected today. I'm actually meeting up with my friend today who's going to help me film some things and accompany me on my walk today in Daikanyama. So I'm just waiting for her at the station. She should be almost here. My friend and I found each other, so now we're going to head to a nearby cafe for some lunch first. The place we're going to is about a 5-minute walk from the train station. Daikanyama is a trendy upscale neighborhood just beside Shibuya, more popular with locals who just want a relaxed day off. The area consists of restaurants, cafes, and boutiques, and several foreign embassies are also located here. Le Cordon Bleu Tokyo used to have its campus here in Daikanyama, but unfortunately closed recently. I used to come to Daikanyama pretty often to take walks and to visit the bookstore, but there are still so many cafes and little places I haven't been to yet. These places are changing constantly, so it's always a refreshing experience, no matter how many times I visit. It's also in city center, but not crowded, perfect for winding down on the weekend. I think we're just about there. The cafe should be just around this corner. We're here! Second floor. So this is their menu with their lunch plate menu as well as afternoon tea and their large selection of pancakes. They have their house pancake with maple syrup and butter, strawberry and berries, baked marshmallow pancake, and Mont Blanc, and their chocolate and cookies, matcha and syrup, triple cheese pancake, and vanilla ice cream, whipped cream, and banana. すいません。お願いし ます。ぶどうのパンケーキを一つ。結構大きい。
そうですね。結構大きいですね。ハーフサイズ。こちらバナナパンケーキのハーフサイズの。以上でよろしかったですか？
あとほうじ茶ラテを一つ。
ほうじ茶ラテを一つでお願い
します。以上です。
量の確認の方させていただきます。ぶどうパンケーキのお一つとバナナパンケーキのチョコレートソースハーフサイズのお一つとホットコーヒーとほうじ茶ラテを一つずつでよろしいですか？
はい。
こちらパンケーキの方は焼き時間20分ほどかかるんですけれども、お飲み物を歴史をお持ちしてよろしいですか？
そうですね。はい、お願いします。
ありがとうございます。では少々お待ちください。
お願いします。
イエーイ。
Hot coffee and hojicha latte and warabi mochi. My friend got the banana and whipped cream and ice cream pancakes, and they looked so good. Look how creamy and soft everything is. For me, I got the seasonal pancakes with muscat grapes. There were so many grapes in this pancake, and everything was so beautifully presented. Now that we're full, it's time to walk off the calories. The next place we're going to is also a 5-minute walk from Daikanyama Station. We found it! Asakura House. So we go in from here. Our next stop is the Asakura House. We decide to start off by exploring the gardens. Q means old or past. This house was built as a private residence by Torajiro Asakura, who served as chairman of Tokyo's Prefectural Assembly in the early 1900s, with this garden on the south side of the house. Since this day was a public holiday, admission was free to commemorate the holiday, called Keiro no Hi, a day to honor the elderly. The Asakura House is officially designated by the Japanese government as an important cultural property, which is a status given to structures or works of art that have significance academically, historically, and culturally. Is that a path? This is definitely a path, but it looks like it goes to somewhere boring. The garden outside Asakura House was designed to fit the curves of the hill and can be enjoyed in different ways depending on the season. The arrangement of the stone lanterns, stepping stones, and other rocks suit the surrounding trees very well. Next, let's explore the inside of the house. The Asakura House is one of the only remaining structures built in the Taisho era that are still standing after the Great Kanto earthquake in 1923 and World War II. The Taisho era is a period in Japan that covered the time between 1912 and 1926. Although relatively short, the Taisho era was an interesting time when foreign ideas began to influence the Japanese people in their everyday lives, reflected in their architecture as well as things like food and fashion. By the way, I'm a huge fan of the Taisho era because there's something romantic about the mix of Japanese and Western concepts, and a lot of beautiful designs were born during this time. The house itself is 2 stories with a clay tiled roof and mostly tatami flooring. The Asakura family used this house for their daily living, but also made sure to allot spaces for inviting visitors and conducting business. Meetings were usually held on the 2nd floor. This is one of the suginoma, or cedar rooms. Suginoma are designed to display the grain and texture of the cedar used to build the room. And finally, we have the yoma, or a Western-style room. As was typical of the Taisho era, many liked to incorporate Western-style spaces into their houses at the time, and it was common to have this contrast between the very traditionally Japanese and a more modern Western design. Now it's time to move to our final stop, also a 5-minute walk away from Daikanyama Station. Everything is super close together and very convenient. Oh, here we are! Tea site. Daikanyama Tsutaya tea site. Our last stop is Daikanyama Tea Site, a bookstore that boasts a modern design with white teas covering the exterior. Daikanyama Tea Site was built based on the concept of a library in the woods and has been mentioned as being one of the most beautiful bookstores in the world. The bookstore consists of 3 buildings connected by sky bridges. It not only has books belonging to an extensive range of genres, but also a large selection of magazines, movies, and music. Visitors can read or relax at the in-store Starbucks or at their gorgeous lounge located on the 2nd floor. Here we are at the lounge. The lounge serves food, alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks, as well as select vintage reading material to keep you entertained. My friend and I were getting a little tired from walking around the Asakura House and then the bookstore, so we sat in one of the many chairs available around Daikanyama tea site for a short break. And that's it for our day in Daikanyama. The sun was about to set, so we decided to slowly walk back to Shibuya, which is about a 15-minute walk from here. We dropped by a cafe on the way for a cup of coffee before going home. Thank you so much for watching today. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and tapping the like button down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!